Hi everyone. Unfortunately, you're only seeing half of the work that I did on this, which is very disappointing for me. I had gone out into the woods where my wild roses are. I took you on a short adventure. I collected rose petals and brought back, and I dried them and infused them, and long story short and somewhat, I can't find the video. I had moved some things to a hard drive, to a backup drive that I have, a big 4 terabyte hard drive, and somehow when I was transferring everything, my labeling system was changed. So without going through literally thousands, for every video that I do, there may be 10 to 12 or more smaller videos that I do and then stitch together. Obviously, I don't leave the camera on for the full, some soaps may take a day or two to complete from start to finish, right? And obviously all that's not on film, on one continuous piece of film. So it's turning the camera on and off. So there's a lot of film. And so to make a long story even longer, all of my old videos, including these that I had just taken when I was transferring, I didn't mean to copy over the newer stuff, just the older stuff to free up room on my hard drive. And well, they got re-listed with new. Everything has the same date, and now they're numbered in a really weird way. So I have no way of knowing what is what without actually going in and watching every single video. So I'm not doing that. Maybe at a later time, I'm not sure. So here I have my rose infused oil. This color won't stay. This is just off those petals. As soon as it hits lye, this will turn brown. It's already starting to brown. If this was a much lighter color, so this is natural with this is not unusual with natural products, with botanical. Right. So now I'm going to blend in my rose infusion into my other oils and butters here. And I can smell that light rose scent coming from that. That will of course disappear in the soap, which is why I'm adding the Rose Absolute. So why would I go to the trouble of adding fresh organic wild roses in an infusion to a soap if the color and the scent are simply going to be destroyed, or at least dissipate greatly in the actual infusion? Because there are some fantastic constituents in roses that do survive saponification. If you've ever heard of a rose water rinse for the face, or a wash, which I've made myself, or rose creams, which have been famous since the Victorian ages and before, it's because many women around the world have known for a very long time that roses not only smell wonderful, but they have terrific benefits for the skin. Some have reported that it helps with skin elasticity. I don't know that that's true, and especially in a soap, right? But I have the roses here. They're natural. Am I adding them just for label appeal? Some may say that. I just like to believe that enough of those positive constituents survive, which I know they survive, but that they will be beneficial in a bar soap. I don't know that to be the case, but I hope that they do. And after all, it smells wonderful. You know it's from, well, you don't know because you didn't go on the walk with me because I deleted or moved the video, but they're fresh from the farm, and I was just so proud of them. If you'd seen the video, this would make a lot more sense. Trying to explain it after the fact feels funny, but okay, I'm going to go ahead and go through it. Let me get my goat milk, and we'll get this put together. All right, we've got our goat milk, and we're just going to mix in our lye, but first I'm going to grab my gloves. So I hope you're all having a good day. Are you? I've had a good day too. This is a work day. This is before my shift begins today, and I just wanted to, I've taken care of the animals, I did some milking, I've done some, one needed some medicine in her eye, and another needed some loving, some petting, and I had to let Mr. Bigley out. He's separate, he's no longer the main leader of the males. Another one has taken his place. But he will always remain here. He's very special to me. I love Mr. Bigley. Anyway, so I had to go out and let him out and run, and I let all the females out to the pasture. And then, whoop, knocking things over here. And then I let Mr. Bigley out so he can run, and he really enjoys that. All right. I really enjoy not just soap making, but certain processes. And I think every step of soap making is enjoyable to me. But you know, one of my favorites is this. Is just preparing my goat milk for the soap. And I think much of that is because, well, I know where it came from. This didn't come out of a can, it didn't come out of a box. It came right from my own little babies that I love and adore every day. And I know that it was given to me with pleasure. Now, there are people out there I know that think that taking milk from animals is wrong. But here's what I can tell you. Goats have multiple breasts, nipples, udders. And a lot of times goats will have twins or more. But as I've told you in other videos or shared with you, I raise only pygmies and dwarf Nigerians. And these oftentimes will only have a single baby. But both of the one set of breasts that they have will fill with milk. And it is actually painful for them. Now, if the baby rotates from nipple to nipple, that's great. Sadly, babies don't do that. They find one they like, and that's the one that they use. And so oftentimes, the other one goes untouched, and this is very painful for the goat. They will cry out in pain from that. So you have to milk them to give them relief. So, no, I'm not saying I'm some magnanimous hero of goats with sore udders, but I'm just explaining that it's not just me raising goats just for milk. I raise goats because I love having them. I love giving them a home, and they have a good life here. They eat well. They get to free range in amongst the trees and shrubs and wild vines, and they just have so much fun. They're healthy, they breed well, their babies are healthy, and with very few exceptions, they just don't have a lot of health issues. So for that, I'm very grateful, and I feel proud because, well, I believe that the care I've given them is responsible for that, or at least somewhat, certainly an influencing factor. All right, so I have my oils here. Now remember, this is going to turn brownish, so I'm going to have to add in some clay to give it color. And I have my Rose Absolute. Let me get that. Okay. My Rose Absolute. This is expensive stuff, so there's not a lot going in it, but it'll be enough. All right. Go ahead and add in my Rose Absolute. And I'm going to give it a whirl before I add in any of the coloring. I want to see. Instead of using a rose clay, I'm going to use the red clay, but a small amount should give us kind of a pink tint. Just that little bit, I'm hoping, will give us what we want there. Yeah, that's just this nice soft pink. And then to this, I'm going to add just a little bit of titanium dioxide. There we go, just a tad. There we go. There's our white. All right, so I'm unmolding these. Kind of messy because of all the overpour, the mess I made putting them in, but didn't they come out nice? Some are lighter colored than others, and that's because of the way, well, when I was pouring, if there was more white in that part of the pour. These have a little bit of pink, but more white in them. Some have more pink than white. I like that there's a variation in them. Are they perfect? No. But they're pretty neat. I'm going to try them again, but I'm going to use some more vibrant colors. These are more of that dusty rose color. My mother would have loved them, but quite frankly, for roses, I think next time I would go with try to create a brighter pink. I should have used the rose kaolin clay. Instead, what I did is I used a reduced amount of the red reef clay. And it does give a nice pink, but it's just not the color of pink that I was hoping for. But they are quite lovely, actually. But yeah, kind of fun. What do you think? Oh, this one's kind of pretty. This one's got a little more the pink in it. Here, I'll try to get a little more light on the subject there. But you can see some variation there in the color. Oh, that one has a spot, but I can take some of these little pieces that fell off and fill in the holes. And that way when it cures, it'll be a solid piece. Anyway, we can look at that a bit later, but yeah, I'm quite pleased. That's a nice one there. The rose is just right. It really is. That is just the right fragrance. It's not too over the top. I tried to use, first of all, like I said, Rose Absolute's very expensive, so I can't do these very often because I don't have the market for them. A lot of people don't like rose. I'm not sure why. I think it's quite nice, but hey, we all have our druthers, right? The things we like and the things we dislike. And that one's a little rougher there, so that might be a keeper. For me, I mean. I'll just hang on to it. Let's see. Oh, this one's nice. Much more pink in this one. I don't know if that color is showing up good here on the camera. I hope it is. They're just sort of that kind I call them dusty rose. That's what they remind me of. My mother had some dishes, and this kind of reminds me of that. Desert rose is what those were, but all right, so I hope you enjoyed this, everyone. I had fun with these. This is a fun mold, and I'm going to work with it some more with some different colors. I live in Texas. I should be doing the yellow rose, right? So maybe that's what's coming up next. Thank you all so much. I had a lot of fun putting this together for you. Have a terrific day, everyone. Goodbye.